In this lesson, we're going to continue to discuss text wraps. If you'd like to follow along, go into your File menu to Open, and in the Sample Files folder, scroll down to 0903, Get All Wrapped Up in Text Wraps, Part 2, and just click Open. Let's get into some of the more advanced features. I have this silhouette of a biker. Why don't we zoom in a lot closer so we can see what's going on, just by clicking and dragging across the bottom of the page with the zoom tool. Now I'm going to go to my selection tool and just select that silhouetted biker. And you can see only the top half of the biker has actually been silhouetted. This is a layered Photoshop document with the biker in front of a transparent layer. Why don't we apply a wrap around object shape, wrap. And you can see, once again, it's wrapping the wrong thing. It says same as clipping. Well, I don't have a clipping path in this Photoshop document, so it's really just wrapping around the outside of the image, not what I want. I'm going to choose Detect Edges, and let's see what that does. Well, it is wrapping around the edges, but that's still not exactly what I want. And there's some strange things happening with the text. Let me instead choose from the type of wrap a Photoshop path. It actually has all the paths that I've set up in my Photoshop document. I'm going to go to the path that's called Silo, and let's see what that does. That looks pretty good. There's one other path. Why don't we try that? It's called Biker Only. Well, I don't think that's what we want. You can see the path is actually around just the biker, so there's probably text underneath my image, not what I want. Let me go back to my original silhouette path, Silo, and that's working pretty well, but I'm still not happy. When it comes right down to it, people do not like reading text. If you expect people to read text that jumps across this biker, they're not going to do it. So how do I make it so that the text is not on the left side of my image? Well, why don't we talk about wrap to? For wrap options, it says wrap to both right and left sides. What happens if I only wrap to, let's say, the right side? Well, that's looking pretty good. There's another choice as well that I would usually use in this particular circumstance. It's called largest area. Let me do that. And you can see it in this case, it's doing exactly the same thing. Let me offset that just a little bit more, and you can see it's pushing it away from the biker, and that looks really good. Sometimes, if you use, instead of largest area, wrap to left side or right side, what will happen is, let's say this biker, his hand was up in the air. What it would do is it would still wrap to this wrong side, and people will not be able to read it. The reason why is if I wrap to the right side, it will also wrap to the right side of his hand that's sticking up in the air, so it's not a good choice. Largest area will only wrap it to the part of the text frame that is the largest. So it's picking the largest area of the text frame to wrap on that side. I wonder how we turn off a wrap. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to fit my page in the window again by hitting Command 0 or Control 0 on a PC. And you can see right now I'm selecting my biker headline. It's centering the headline between the left margin, the left side of the frame, and this wrap object from the master page. What if I wanted it to ignore all text wraps? So it's centering it to the entire text frame. The way you do that is go into your Object menu to Text Frame Options. If you look at the lower left-hand corner, if you check Ignore Text Wrap, look what happens. It's now centered to the frame itself, and it's ignoring all of the text wraps. Let me uncheck that to show you how it changes back. Now it's centered to the left side of the frame and the text wrap to its right. So it does make a difference. Let me click OK. In the next lesson, we're going to begin to discuss long documents.